like this shit easy or something, you heard me?
They do.
Nah, nigga, I make this shit look easy, you heard me?
See, sometimes people think they can be you better than you can be you.
Intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to The Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Sky's the limit, baby.
BoxingVoice.com.
We don't fight for rings and stuff like that. I don't fear anyone.
En este deporte no se viene a jugar y no le tengo miedo a nadie.
We don't come to play in this sport. I fear no one in this sport.
Does that mean that you will fight Triple G later this year?
Como lo dije en la pelea pasada, ahorita mismo me vuelvo a poner los guantes.
As I said in the last fight, right now I'll put on the gloves again.
¡Viva México!
Canelo wants to unify all the titles.
When did you realize, Andy, that you could take his power?
Because of the Mexican warrior that I am, I got that Mexican blood in me, so talking about the Mexican style, I just proved it.
BoxingVoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game can see the Boxing Voice.
Good morning, TBV. God is good. You know, for some time now, I've been praying, and in my prayer, you know, I ask God to help me with any relationships that have been severed. You know, any quarrels that people have with me, help me mend those things. And this is not something I'm saying tongue in cheek. This is something I've literally been doing, and because I think the Bible has a verse where it says, you know, like settle a quarrel, then go to bed with having an enemy, something like that. I know Eric Cruz will give us the right scripture, right? The point is, obviously, you have plenty of fighters that have issues. So, you know, I don't know what I did to them. So I've kept them in my prayers, hoping the opportunity to mend those relationships and move forward as adults. And I'm happy to report that Terrence Bud Crawford reached out yesterday, and he said Thursday at 7:30. So we got a full house Thursday, but I'm bumping somebody off. So somebody else is probably going to be pissed off at me now. Whoever was on 7:30 will get mad because they're like, oh, so you got rid of me to get Crawford. But hopefully they understand, you know, we got to get the champ on and again, mend those relationships. So if everything goes well, you know, this is show business. But I credit my persistence, man. I continued for years to hit him up. So it's probably going to be one of those interviews where he's like, I'm only doing this so you can stop harassing me. Or it's probably going to be one of those interviews where it's like Brian Kenny and Floyd, right? Maybe this is my Brian Kenny moment. Or it's probably going to be standoffish. I hope it's not, because that's his normal demeanor, and I don't want that. But happy to report, I cannot believe he replied. So sad Mike's not here for this, right? I'm like, whoa, finally, because you don't know the amount of messages that have been sent that way. That being said, we will be having two guests today. We're going to have JD's, the trainer of Deontay Wilder. Plus, we'll talk a little bit of Deontay Wilder. Obviously, they're having a second press conference back in LA. Don't know what the hell that's all about. And we'll have Kyrome Shut It Down Davis. Kyrome is a bred man, Stephen Edwards trained fighter, 160-pounder. Up-and-coming prospect, and yeah, want to check in with him. And I actually got a few other things, right? So let me do that while I give Mike some time. His computer is resetting. So today, like I said, JD's and Kyrome Shut It Down Davis, JD's trainer of Deontay Wilder. Friday, we got Callum Johnson, and I got to check the schedule. I got to check my notes. I believe we have another Friday. And then Monday, we got in the morning Alejandra Soledad Zamora. She is the female that had that very exciting fight with Michaela Mayer. They're doing a rematch in February, so I wanted to get her on, and we'll get Michaela Mayer on as well. But right now, so far, we got Alejandra Soledad Zamora scheduled for Monday at 10 a.m. And I am pretty sure Daniel Roman, which I didn't put in my calendar, I'm putting now. Daniel Roman, we have a scheduled interview with him at, I believe, 7:30 p.m. Monday. And he's the unified 122-pound or 118-pound IBF and WBA champion. He should be having a media workout here soon in a few days out in California. But yeah, we'll be having Daniel Roman on. For Tuesday of next week, got nothing, but definitely we got some stuff for Thursday next week. We got Caleb Plant coming back, and we got Nathan Gallimore coming back. I believe Gallimore's the only man to beat Jenison Rosario, and I got to reschedule Rosario, but I got to get a translator, you know what I mean, so I don't have to do everything at once. So for this Thursday, which is tonight, Mike Polite Coffee, up-and-coming heavyweight. Timothy Moulton, up-and-coming heavyweight, most known for quitting 2 jobs and going to help out Anthony Joshua in the rematch with Andy Ruiz. My shit scared the brakes off me. And then we got Richardson Hitchens, TMT, up-and-coming fighter. Mike, man, what it do? Let me go out to Mike real quick. You know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget to add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation from anywhere in the world. We're going to go out to Indiana's own Gross, the boss. What up?
I speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. I can't say it enough. I speak it, believe it.
Windows camp, 2 attempts, handed bands over. Sicko hit, shot and missed, 2 to stand over.
Turn up.
Breadwinner, huh? Look who in the building. Let me check my Instagram. I might be at 1 million.
And I'm in.
BoxingWinners.com. Yo. Good morning. Shout out to everybody out there in the TBV universe. Back with another one. Yeah, Canelo making moves, making news, making all people go crazy. Ryota Murata, he's like he could be in the driver's seat for the next Canelo fight. And also, Oscar De La Hoya says Jermall Charlo his handlers turned down an offer from Canelo to fight Canelo last year. A very lucrative offer, I might add. So I want to break that down and talk about that. A lot more stuff, too. What's going on, this?
What up, champ, man? So I was just telling people, I went through this whole spiel, man. I don't know. Did you get to hear the beginning of the show while you was in the back resetting? Nah? Shit. Well, obviously I'm religious, so I've always, been praying to mend any severed relationships, I even sent the text to Mario Munguia, since we're going to be in Texas. I said, hey, you want to bury the hatchet? You want to finally show up after all this time? Let's do it. TBV still has an open door for you, and we could put the past in the past. That being said, Terrence Bud Crawford reached out, and he said 7:30 Thursday, and I'm just like, whoa, God is good.
Yeah, I seen that. That's what the eye emojis were yesterday at fucking 5 o'clock.
Oh, 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just like, I did question your eye emojis in the time. Like, what is Mike talking about? But bro, I'm excited but nervous at the same time. It's like I was telling people, this could be Brian Kenny, Floyd Mayweather, or it could be him with his typical standoff attitude. Maybe he's just frustrated, wants to come on and just shit on us. I mean, it's so, I know you don't take it as us, but I doubt that they can distinguish the two. I know you want to be defined separately, but I doubt that they can distinguish the two, man, because we've had guys interview him out there in the field, and as soon as they say TBV, Ron has told you, Adam has told you, Daniel has told, like, as soon as you say TBV, the attitude changes. So hopefully you can navigate it. You can be the navigator on that one. That's going to be interesting, though. Palm sweaty, for real. That's going to be fun.
That's all good, man. I seen that yesterday, and I was like, "Hey, man, yeah, about time." You know what I'm saying? It's about time, and man, I'm looking forward to it. Now, I don't know if it's gonna be tonight, next week, or whenever, but definitely looking forward to it.
Well, I mean, look, the message I put was Thursday, right? I mean, I put a bunch of days, and he said we could do Thursday. So I'm like, okay, I only put one time too, so we just gonna have to bump off whoever we had this Thursday. We won't bump him. I just like bump him a little later. You know what I mean? Hopefully he don't get mad, because that's how it is. You trying to fix one relationship only to ruin another one. It's rocking a hard place for sure. But listen, we're here to talk about the true king of the sport, King Nello. I know they don't like to hear the truth, but the fact of the matter is ain't nobody else generating the type of money he does. No one putting on the events that he does. And really outside of maybe Joshua, the world doesn't stop when he's fighting. But when Canelo does, it does. And you know what's crazy about it? Why is he that missing ingredient, Mike? Like, why all of a sudden can you put him in the equation with Toyota Corolla, and it's a big fight? But Brandt was there twice and it wasn't. And Gennady spoke about taking him to Kazakhstan or going himself to Japan, and nobody was really talking about it. All of a sudden, Canelo wants to go to Japan, and this is a big fight.
I mean, it's Canelo. Like, it's the marquee name in the sport. You know what I'm saying? Like, when anything Canelo do is similar to what, like, Floyd, like, when they do it's big news, it's big business. And this is another way for Canelo to build his brand across different markets. And it's another way to have the zone build their brand across different markets. You know what I'm saying? Well, a market that they're already heavily invested in. I think this is just, when it comes to Canelo, big news, guys, is Canelo Alvarez, and whoever he fights, you know what I'm saying, we're going to think that is going to be big. And Ryota Murata out of nowhere, Japanese star. I mean, that's another feather in the cap of Canelo. My question is he coming back down to 160 for this fight?
There's been no mention. I got some audio, and I'll pull that up in a bit, but The funny thing is that who else is willing to go to Japan, right? I mean, when Rob Brandt told me that one day, well, he told me and Daniel you were there too, in Las Vegas in the hotel room, you seen what we all said. Why? He's like, bro, it's big money. And he told us then, before getting the first fight, he told us in that hotel room, I'll do the rematch out there. It's big money. So why aren't other fighters acceptable? That, like, Andre needs a fight. Why hasn't he been calling out Ryota Murata to get this big fight to be more of an international buzz, or Charlo, or even Eubank Jr.? Like, why has it only been the two dudes that have already proven they can do good numbers on ratings and pay-per-view, which are Gennady and Canelo? I mean, this was an opponent that Gennady was rumored to want to face, and even Bob said he would love to make the Gennady Toyota Corolla fight. But here we are again. It's the same two faces always trying to do these, out of the box things, right? Because you got a guy like Big Baby says, nah, man, I ain't going to Bulgaria. You know what I mean? You got Tyson Fury on a Boxing Social interview saying, look, you got to knock a guy out to get a decision. You can't come here and think you're gonna beat Deontay Wilder when he's the closest thing to tying or passing, Muhammad Ali's record or Marciano's record, whoever he mentioned, and that all that plays in. So people never want to go out of town. They never want to go to a foreign country. But if this dude does, because he doesn't normally, right? Like, Canelo hasn't really fought globally. He hasn't even done a UK fight.
I mean, when you look at it, it's like we all know that Murata works well with Bob Arum and things like that. And I know Bob Arum has been speaking highly of Canelo for a long time now, and Canelo gets to do what he wants to. And also, you got to think that the Zone has an investment over there in Japan. Right now, PBC don't have that investment. I doubt Andre versus Murata is as big as Canelo versus Murata, and you also got to think Canelo's going to a new market, so a lot more people are going to want to see him, especially since he's going against I guess we want to say hometown kind of hero in Murata, who does millions and millions of views every time he fights over in Japan. So I think it's more so on the lines of the zone looking at this as an opportunity where they can drive subscriptions over there in that area. And I think I read the fight will take place in like the daytime, so it can be nighttime for the U.S. market, if I read correctly. So I think it's just a factor of things like the zone, Canelo.
According to my helper, hate to interrupt, but he's saying that could be false information. He's saying that it's not on the zone in Japan because Murata has a deal with Fuji TV.
According to the article, well, not to the article, but to the Mike Coppinger tweet, the zone is heavily invested in that area, and the way he worded it, well, they were expecting this to drive subscriptions over in the zone. Let me find that Mike Coppinger tweet.
Interesting. That means it's a bidding war. Which broadcaster's going to get it in Japan?
Yeah, let me see right quick. Blah, blah, blah. Billy Joe Saunders. Okay. Here we go. Sources, Ryota Murata has emerged as the preferred opponent for Canelo Alvarez in the zone, and talks are progressing between the sides for the bout that would be staged May 3rd in Japan for a May 2nd prime time stream on the zone in the U.S. Chris Mannix first to report. Also, what is that shit? Here we go. Billy Joe Saunders was formerly in the driver's seat for Canelo and remains an option, as does Callum Smith. Canelo Murata would take.
According to Oscar, Billy Joe's never been an option, and he doesn't know where that came from.
Canelo Murata would make a ton of sense for the zone. Murata is a mega superstar in Japan, and the zone is well established there, giving platform a major sub driver event in two markets.
Yeah, I mean, but look, that's Coppinger. Maybe he didn't do his research on the Murata TV deal. But regardless, I mean, more information will surface. Let's shift ourselves before we get to our first interview with Jay Diaz, trainer Deontay Wilder. Let's shift to the secondary topic, which is Oscar De La Hoya claiming that Jermall Charlo's handlers turned down a very, very lucrative offer. I love how he always repeats the varies in his sentences. But to the tape.
If you want to be in a fight, demand these fights. Tell your promoter you want these fights, and we'll make them happen.
Fans listening to that would bring up the case of Charlo, that they've demanded to fight Canelo and the fight hasn't happened.
No, we had an amazing.
Shout out to Marcos Viega as well. This is his audio. He conducted this interview with Oscar De La Hoya and got definitely some good information from him. Now, someone can argue, look, we don't believe everything Eddie says, like we don't believe everything Bob says, so why should we believe everything that Oscar says, and in this case, believing that Charlo turned down a very lucrative offer.
Amazing offer. A very lucrative offer for Charlo, and he turned it down. Well, Charlo didn't turn it down, but his agent or whoever's behind.
And there goes my issue. His agent or whoever's behind PBC. That just sounds so vague. Like, so you don't know who you sent the offer to? Or did you not send it? Did you have Eric Gomez do it, and that's why you don't know the details? And then you can be given a pass if it went that way. Like, look, you're the top dog. I can see you having other people do things for you. But it sounds fishy.
PBC, I don't know.
What was the offer?
I'm not gonna say the offer, but
it was for a Canelo fight, and for May of this year.
Not of this year, last year. And they.
So let's be clear, this is an old offer. This is not a new offer. This is not an opportunity at Canelo now. Canelo's eyes are set on Murata, as far as we know, until Oscar denies that claim. And this Charlo turned down offer was last year. What was on Charlo's plate last year that could have possibly made his team say no?
Nothing.
You don't think they wanted to wait? Maybe they said, look, if they're offering us this now.
They waited, remember? They waited for the WBC mandatory for their position.
No. I'm saying Charlo's team, right? Let's hypothetically assume they did receive this offer. Let's hypothetically assume it was lucrative. They're saying to themselves, my opinion is, they're saying to themselves, all right, look, this is what they're offering now. Let's put Charlo and his brother on Fox, because obviously last year was that. They had a lot of expectation in that. They spent a lot. There was a lot of Charlo brothers promotion for that doubleheader.
Charlo went on Fox last year. It was 2018, the end of 2018. Charlo fought Brandon Adams, and he fought the guy Dennis Hogan on Showtime.
Oh wow! Well, there goes that theory. Why would he turn down an offer then?
He said, "I'm kind of skeptical of the offer too, because of just the way that Oscar was wording things. But I mean, if he sent an offer, I don't see why Charlo's team would turn it down, seeing that they were right there in that mandatory position for a long time, trying to push that Canelo fight, and that percentage right there would probably be a little bit less than what offer if you're negotiating straight up would have been. So I don't know why they would turn down an offer for a Canelo fight, seeing that's what Charlo always kind of wanted.
Trying to steal a few extra seconds from Jay, because we all know we long-winded. So I'm asking him, are you ready now? Still these little 8 minutes. Add that to the interview. Yeah, man, listen, whatever. Old offer. What could you do, man? Plenty of people turn things down. It's a new year. I would like to see them send an offer to Charlo now, you know. But this is not the first time we heard that Canelo wanted to do something internationally. Wasn't China also mentioned, or am I confusing that? Not for this particular fight, but just in general. Like, hasn't he made a quote like he would like to fight in China? Or was that, am I wrong on that?
I don't remember that, but maybe he did. I'm not sure on Canelo fighting in China. I know Oscar said something about the Middle East, interested in bringing Canelo over there too.
Oh, to Saudi?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, if you haven't asked JD's a question, you can do so by heading on over to patreon.com/theboxingvoice and clicking on the Ask Deontay Wilder's trainer JD's a question, and hope that we can get to yours promptly. It is in order, so we go to those people first.
And the reason I put more stock in Eddie Hearn's offer, because he said, hey, I got the receipts with Tim Smith. I sent Charlo the offer directly. With Oscar's like, I don't know. I mean, whoever got it, we didn't send it to Charlo directly. So, I mean, I think the reason I put more stock in Eddie Hearn, because he has like some actual. It seems like I'm not saying that I've seen it, but it seems like he has some actual proof.
Yes, sir. I mean, look, it's like I said, man, we can't call one promoter a truth teller and the other one a liar.
Yeah, they all seem to stretch the truth a little bit.
They all got to stretch the truth, man. I finally got around to watching that Dillian White interview with
Cougar
and Eddie, the sit down.
Oh, sit down, okay.
And I'm just like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, Eddie knows he's got to keep Dillian happy, and he knows how to do that. You know what I mean? Dillian's like, yeah, you were happy that that your boyfriend won, and he was like, yeah, I was happy that AJ won as well. You know what I mean? Like saying, nah, you're my boyfriend to Dillian because you got to keep him happy. But the truth is, you ain't got him a title shot, right? But he's definitely made him financially happy. But I say all that to say that, like, bro, they all gotta, like you said, stretch the truth or do their best at bending it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Just the way of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Promoters out here trying to do the best for the fighters at the same time, trying to keep the media at bay. So I watched the interview. You know what I'm saying? That they talking about they still offered Ortiz numerous of fights on more than one occasion. It's a fight that Dylan White says he wants, but I don't know, man. I guess they don't feel like Luis Ortiz is that same opponent that he was when they were sending him the offers, because it just seemed like, I don't know,
Bruh,
man.
he went through it like yo, trying to make it seem like he tried to make that fight, but it's like, come on, bro, we know you sent him $225,000. Like, my man just got offered $7 million from AJ and made $7 million with Wilder. Like, you playing games, man. Like, you know. And then Tyson, I watched the interview today that Tyson slams Usyk. Like, I got 3 fights left and Usyk ain't one of them. Don't nobody want to see a Ukrainian heavyweight champ. I don't care if he beats AJ or not. Don't nobody care. America and London only care about Westerner champs. I'm like, yo, this dude's funny. But that actually was a very good interview. I believe it was with Boxing Social. It was very good because it was an honest, or it felt like an honest Fury, you know? He wasn't shit talking. He was just talking. And it felt honest. He brought up his wife. He was like, yeah, I got a wife. I got to say it because my wife says she's mad that I don't never mention her in these interviews. So for anybody that don't know, I got a wife. Like, he was funny. He really made me laugh, bruh. And what else he said? He said, I think he said he's bigger than, who is he bigger than? Somebody was supposedly, I don't know. I know he ain't say Canelo, man. But basically he said he's bigger than whoever in America now. Like, he's popping like that. Yo, he brought your boy in too. I was thinking about like that. That's even another little show. The sparring partners he got. He mentioned them.
You bring in
that 1-0 fighter, Adele.
Yeah, Adele from UK, Frank Warren guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he got a couple other dudes. He got that Italian.
As a Campbell?
Man,
no, he German. He German.
Yeah, I was about to say he ain't Italian. But let me dip out.
Yeah, man, happy wife, happy life. Don't say Fury making it known that, hey, look here. All that bullshit got to go to the wayside. I am a happily married man. So big ups to Fury, and big ups to his wife for laying down the law. You know what I'm saying? But Canelo, Murata, Japan, like we got on JDS right now, going back to Ness.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, world-renowned trainer of Deontay Wilder, going into a huge pay-per-view. First time in ESPN Fox co-broadcasted pay-per-view. I give you JD's, and Happy New Year, Jay. Thank you for coming on in middle of camp and talking a little boxing with us.
Oh, absolutely. Glad to be on.
So
good morning, Mr. Diaz. Hopefully everything's going good. My first question is, man, how's camp going and how's the Bummer looking in camp?
Oh, it's been fantastic. And, the last time we did the Fury fight, Deontay had severely injured his right arm. And it was well, but we were saving it to a certain degree. In camp, we couldn't use it as much as we wanted to. So the timing, the timing was the biggest issue going into the fight. This time he's got 2 good arms. He's healthy. It's a short camp because of the turnaround from the Ortiz fight has been so quick. So it's been perfect. It's really been just a continuation of everything for Deontay, not having to kind of start and stop and all that. We're ready to go.
We had Junior Fa on yesterday, and he was saying that the sparring was going pretty good. I just want to get it from you, like, how has the sparring partners been? Are those guys giving you good looks and giving you guys what you need to be successful?
Yeah, I've been very happy with the sparring partners. We got good guys in, and they've done very well for us. We've had Emron Sands and Malik Scott and Robert Alfonso and Craig Lewis and Stephen Shaw and Junior Fa, and we got more guys coming in. before long. So we've had a very good group, and they've done good work, and they're really good guys as well. You know, it's always all about chemistry at this level too. If you get kind of a bad egg or a guy that doesn't really fit in or doesn't have the right attitude, it can make for a rough week. But we don't have those issues. These guys are all fantastic.
Now, we had Junior File on yesterday, and he's obviously picking Deontay Wilder. He feels that you guys are going into this camp now with he didn't use the word plans, but he said knowing what needs to be corrected, and that's what's being worked on. And he just sees Wilder being able to apply that in the ring. What do you think you had to have Deontay do differently in this fight versus that first fight?
Well, I mean, I thought he won the first fight. So, that being said, I don't think that you have to change everything or whatever. Mostly it's just all about Deontay. He was anxious. He was overeager to impress the first time. He was light and had a lot of things going on in his life and things. So it's really just about getting Deontay to a better place, and he's in that better place. He's ready. He's calmer. He's not going to be over pushing things, trying to make things happen that aren't there. He's gonna be better all the way around.
All right, we got some questions from the people. First one is in Seattle, Washington. We have Dominic that says, what do you think about Tyson Fury saying that he's going to stand in the middle of the ring and slug it out with Deontay Wilder?
I don't know if he'll do that or not. If Fury, he's always playing mind games, so we're not really worried about what strategy he comes up with. I think we're going to be ready for whatever he brings to the table.
How do you feel about this press conference this weekend on Saturday? I know you're not a fan of having those kind of things during camp, but it falls on a weekend. I know you guys are like off on the weekend, so do you think that affect Wilder any happen to go to that press conference on the 25th?
Well, one of the great things about this fight was all that was laid out ahead of time. Sometimes in the past, we would get the notice 4 days ahead of time. Oh, well, D needs to be in Phoenix on Thursday, that kind of thing. That hasn't been the case. We've been it's been a much better layout. We had time to prepare for it, and so we just work around it. It's unfortunately it's one of the parts of promotion, and I understand that you have to let people know about the fight, and that to a large degree means that the guys have to leave training camp to go and do that, and that's just part of it. It's not ideal from a training scenario, but it's understandable.
We got another one from Rel in New Mexico that says, what is the champ's main focus for this camp? He's always in shape. His power's always there. How does he get the job done early on Fury?
Well, the main thing is just to get the job done. Well, Fury's a fantastic fighter. He's got all the credentials and all the skill set that you could ever want, and he's difficult. I mean, there's just no easy way. It's like Ortiz. When I said with Ortiz, nobody's ever had an easy time with Luis Ortiz. Well, nobody's ever had an easy time with Tyson Fury either. So it's a thing where whenever and however, as long as we get the win, I'm happy. But again, to answer the question, I think it just comes back to Deontay being, more experienced at the big stage, and he knows what he has to do to be successful.
Jay, you're cutting out. I don't know if you're using the Bluetooth right now, but we definitely lost you.
You there?
Yeah. I think it's the Bluetooth, maybe.
Okay, hang on.
All right.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, so the next one, actually, I wanted to slide one of my own in there since you mentioned that You mentioned Luis Ortiz. We had Junior Fa on yesterday, and we spoke about, what fight he thought would put him on the map in America. So he really wants a Joseph Parker fight because he feels like domestically in New Zealand it would be big. Plus he'll get U.S. exposure and UK exposure. But he feels the biggest statement he could make is taking out Luis Ortiz. Do you think Fa is ready for Luis Ortiz at 19-0? You've seen him for a long time in camp with Wilder.
Yeah, there comes a time where everybody has to step up, and that would be a fight that would put his name on the international level. Junior's got a real good skill set, and he's big and he's strong. So that could be a great fight for him. Nobody wants to fight Luis Ortiz, so by taking that fight, I think that would really put his name out there.
All right. We got the next one is from Israel Weber, I believe in Kansas, says, did you feel pretty good after Deontay mentioned maintaining loyalty to you during the last press conference? It was obvious shit talk, but I thought it was a good comparison and spoke of his trust in you.
Oh, I didn't hear the last part of that. It was, go ahead. You said it was what?
He said it was obvious shit talk from Fury, but he thinks that Deontay saying that he would maintain his loyalty to you shows a good comparison and spoke of the trust that he has in you.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, we've been through so much together from the very beginning when nobody was there, when nobody wanted to help, and when you couldn't be more destitute than we were, trying to put our money together to go spar and that type thing. So we've been through a lot together. So we've always been loyal to each other, and you're always going to have external people saying things, and you should get this guy or you should do that. But it's never been that way with us. And Deontay's always been loyal. He's gone a million different ways to a million different people, but I think that he knows how well we work together, and he's a very unique guy, and everybody he'd be the first to tell you everybody can't be his trainer. You have to be a certain type of person to be able to work with somebody as complex as Deontay, and it's not just something anybody can do. You have to understand that he's unique, and there's no cookie cutter way to train him like you train everybody else or whatever. It's a completely different set of circumstances.
All right, we got the next one from Cisco Promotions in New York that says, how can we get the champ to jab a lot more? This would make his fights a lot easier and also cause more damage to Fury's eye. Let the champ know. Thanks for making boxing fun again, and let him know that the Bronx crew will be in Vegas to support. Bomb Squad!
Well, I appreciate that they're going to be there in support. Deontay has a fantastic jab, and he does use it quite well and quite effectively. You also have to remember sometimes a jab is a difficult thing to land depending on the opponent. Hitting Luis Ortiz with a jab is just a very difficult thing to do because of his positioning and because of where his shoulder is positioned and his southpaw stance and the skill set and the fact that he counters the jab very well. So there's more than a few factors when the fight has lent itself to the jab, like the Stavern fight in Brazil and several others. That jab has been there. I think a jab would be a very important weapon against Fury, but it's very difficult to hit him with it because he's just one of those guys that has a lot of upper body movement. So sometimes you just need to hit something, even if it's not the head. You can hit the arms, the chest, the body, but it really depends on what a guy gives you, and sometimes forcing it's the worst thing you can do. But Deontay's jab is quite a weapon.
All right, this is a great one from Ryan Mesa, a.k.a. Dempsey. He says, hello, Jay. I want to congratulate you on all your success with Deontay as a trainer. I hope you have continued success with other guys that you work with in the future. I understand that many experienced trainers can have pessimistic thoughts when someone enters a gym and says, and I quote, "I want to be a fighter." As a trainer that has worked with Deontay for many years, at what moment did you realize that he has it and can be a world champion?
Well, there's a couple of parts to that question. Thank you for those kind words, first of all. But I will say, when everybody that comes in the gym tells you they want to be a fighter, it can be you can kind of tend to drown that out a little bit because 98% of them aren't going to stick around. It's just the way it is when they see how tough it is. But I think early on, the thing that I noticed with Deontay was on day one, I showed him a few footwork things, and I was right there next to him and walking him through them. And this was on his first day ever in a boxing gym. And then I did what I typically do. I walk away, and then I look. I act like I'm not watching them, but I watch them from the other side of the gym. Almost always, they don't do as well when you walk away from them. They start throwing punches, and you hadn't even gone over punches. They start trying to act like Sugar Ray and Cassius Clay, and and throwing all these crazy, and you're like, you haven't even. But Deontay was different. He was actually more diligent when he didn't think I was watching. He was actually working on exactly what we had talked about, nothing more, nothing less, and he was trying to get that right. So that very first day, that was a little bit of an eye-opener because that's very unusual.
All right, we have the next one from California, CYP.
And then to finish the story, then as time went on and he kept progressing, that was incrementally. That's when I thought, we've got a good shot. We could do some really good things if all the right things happen. If Deontay, stays healthy and he doesn't get sick or anything like that, or have any issues, being in a wreck or anything like that. If he stays healthy, we get the right promoters, the right path, and the right breaks. I think that this kid could go all the way. That kind of happened as time went on when the path started being cleared.
All right. We have the next one from CYP in California that says, "I want to thank you for believing in Wilder and taking all the hate and criticism and lies and still standing tall as the right-hand man to the right-hand man. The CYP family will always stay dropping bombs for the Bomb Squad movement. Great job so far. My question is Anthony Joshua a legend?"
We're not even saying his name right now because it's just irrelevant. That's something we tried to make that fight as more than really anybody really knows, and that just wasn't reciprocated. So it probably answers your question right there. Deontay Wilder has proven he wants to fight the best. He is the guy in the heavyweight division. Nobody has fought better competition than Deontay. And it's kind of funny because a few years ago, you had all the haters saying he's not fighting anybody. But now everybody realizes nobody else has fought Luis Ortiz. Big name fighters have fought Luis Ortiz once, much less twice. Nobody's fought Tyson Fury, not once, but coming up on twice. And then you add in the Staverns and the Brazils and all the guys, and you realize that he's the guy that really wants the biggest fights and has proven it over time. And so that probably, like I said, that probably answers that question, but I'm not even going to give anybody by saying their name because I think that this is the fight. It's all about Wilder and it's all about Fury. Those are the two guys who wanted the big fight, and that's whose names we should be mentioning.
All right, we got Arthur who says, "I don't know how, much input you have on the promotional side, but if you could get Fox to have a live video press conference like Roy Jones versus James Toney during the Super Bowl with Deontay and Tyson, that would drive a lot of interest.
I don't have a lot of input on the promotional side, and that's, I certainly make suggestions, but thankfully I don't have to deal with a lot of that. And having been a promoter for 25 years, it's all, there's no way to do that and train the heavyweight champion of the world. So thankfully I don't have to do that, but I will say that I think he's exactly right. In fact, there's plans for the guys to be in Miami if it works out and the plans come together to do some promotional things down there while you've got all the world's media. There's only so many football stories one can cover in advance of the Super Bowl, and having something else to talk about is very beneficial. They have a thing called Radio Row, which is basically every big time radio show internationally, and they put them all in what basically amounts to a warehouse, and they're all hooked up, and you'll have celebrities and athletes and everything just go from one to the other, all the way down one side and up the other, doing interview after interview after interview and trying to cover. You're just covering so much ground with being in one place. So it's fantastic because it's a situation where all those radio stations and TV stations have come to you, so to speak. You're all in one place as opposed to you having to go to LA one day and New York the next day and Chicago the next day. Everybody comes to one place. So there's a tremendous benefit. So he's right on the money with what he's saying.
All right. And you know what? DAZN does that. They've done it 2 times in a row with Canelo Alvarez. They've held a Radio Row. And Wilder Fury did it the first fight. They did it inside of a hotel. I forgot what was the name. We went to it, though. But the next one is from Delaware. Jemmy, do you believe Wilder can win a decision over Fury if he's not able to knock him out? And do you ever bet on Wilder?
I don't bet because it's just, it's just not something I do. It's not something I've ever been interested in as far as, and it's kind of funny because I typically call fights pretty well. When it's other guys, I'll say, oh, I like so-and-so in this fight. I think you'll get him at about the 8th. And I've been pretty good about it, but I haven't ever gone the route to start betting on it. So I really don't have the time for it. But what was the other part of the question?
Do you think Wilder could win a decision if he can't get the knockout?
Oh yeah. I think that's a great question. Yeah, I think the thing about it is that Fury has successfully put out a narrative that aside from the 2 knockdowns, he was completely in control of the fight and handily winning the fight. And he sold that narrative, and he does it by raising his hands at the end of the round, which, Mikey Garcia raised his hands at the end of the round, every round against Errol Spence, but he wasn't winning. But it's like a sales job. And he sold it, and he sold it successfully, and he's continued to sell it, and he's done it for a reason. He's done it so that basically as long as Deontay doesn't knock him out, he should get the win. That's the narrative that he sold. But the truth of the matter is that they landed about the same amount of punches. I think there's about a 12 or 13 punch difference in 12 rounds, like 1 punch per round difference. And Deontay threw 100 and something punches more, pushed the fight, threw the harder shots, and scored 2 knockdowns. So I thought Deontay had won the fight like 115, 111, like that one judge had it. But Fury and them have sold a narrative that he was completely in control except for the 2 knockdowns, and it's just not true. It's been sold, and people believe it because, look, let's face it, Nash, nobody's going to go back and say, you know what, he may be right. I'm going to rescore the whole fight. It's not going to happen. People just, they hear it. It's simple. They don't have to work. They don't have to look into it. They believe it. That's how narratives are sold. And so yeah, I think we can win a decision, but I think it's important that, that the judges are on point and watching, watching the fight as it's actually happening. Watching no preconceived notions, I guess is what I'm saying, but looking at what's actually happening in the ring, and I think definitely Deontay can win a decision.
All right, we got the next one from the UK, Coyote. Consistency is key with Coyote. Is it true Wilder was dropped in sparring years ago by Vladimir Klitschko? Is this the reason Shelly Finkel said Wilder was still a baby when asked if Wilder would fight Vlad after he won the WBC belt?
I don't remember Shelly saying that. What I do remember is being in camp with Deontay and Klitschko, and no, there was never any knockdown. There was never. I was there like 10 days, and then Russ Amber was there the rest of the time, and nothing like that. I think Dylan White has said some things somebody said, and he's just trying to get his name out there. But
Jonathan Banks was on this show Monday or Tuesday and claims that Wilder was knocked down, but the Dillian White rumor about Wilder being knocked out and twitching is not true.
Well, not when I was there, when Russ was there, and neither of us saw anything like that. What I saw was very, very, very good work. There were 6 sparring partners in camp, and Deontay was getting the majority of the rounds because I think he was doing the best work. In fact, I think Deontay was the only guy to get a bonus at the end of it. And you have to remember, this is when the whole thing with Manny Stewart. Manny was supposed to be there, and then he was delayed, and then they quickly realized he was very sick, and then he passed away. And this is all during the Marius Wack fight for Klitschko. So there's a lot of things going on and a lot of moving pieces, and Vladimir chose Jonathan, and so it's just a lot of things happening at that time. But no, nothing like a knockdown or a knockout or anything like that I saw or that Russ saw, and we were there. So I thought the guys did great work together, and they're both. We learned so much from that camp. It has helped us out tremendously moving forward about how to run a camp and how to structure it. A lot of things we took from them and put our own spin on it. But yeah, that was a great camp and a great learning experience. But no, nothing like a knockdown or a knockout. Just the guys just did great work together. In fact, one day Deontay got every single round, even though there were 6 guys ready to spar. It was only Deontay that sparred that whole day. It's just him and Vlad. So that was great.
Nice. Thank you for that, Jay. Rule in the 504 New Orleans says, what weight does Wilder plan on coming in for this fight?
We don't really put a numerical thing on it because Deontay's body is really unusual, and it's I wish I had that problem where I didn't put on weight easily, but it's difficult sometimes for him to put on weight. But we certainly want him to be heavier than he was last time. He was like 212 at the weigh-in, like 209. In the dressing room before the fight, they came in and weighed, and so probably by the time he knocked Fury down in the 12th round, he was probably a cruiserweight. So we don't want that. We want him to be strong and healthy, and all that just comes from him making nutrition an important part of his life and understanding that he has to eat several times a day because he does burn calories so fast. So he's doing all that though, and he's going to be ready to go. I think his weight will be will be very good. I would I love him in the mid 220s, but we'll see where he comes in.
All right, we got the next one from California. This is actually a very good one. 7 Acts, have you heard of Tyson Fury not sparring to the head? It only makes sense to me because of the cut, but do you believe it? Much respect and blessings, Jay.
Oh, thank you for that. But no, I have not heard that. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with their camp, and quite frankly, I don't care. I've got my hands full with our camp, and that's all I'm concentrating on. I'm sure they're doing a good job there, and they're doing what they need to do to get ready, just as we are. So no, you hear things all the time. Did you hear this and did you hear that? And my friend who's of a friend of a friend.
But Jay,
says this and that kind of thing. So I never know.
Can you entertain us though? Would you like? Obviously, this is a high-level fight. It's a pay-per-view, something that hasn't been done with ESPN and Fox. If Tyson was your fighter, would you have him sparring to the head, or would you tell the? Because I see you instruct Wilder's sparring partner. I see you tell him, what you need from them on certain days. So, I mean, I'm sure if Wilder had a cut, you would tell them, "Hey guys, try to stay away from that eye," right?
Well, it depends on the cut, and it depends on the severity and how tender it still is, and that type thing. I've seen guys in camp where they've had like a big, like a essentially almost like a thicker piece of padding / duct tape over a cut, to protect it, but they sparred normally. And so I've seen that done. I've also seen times where guys haven't thrown any punches anywhere near it, but that's a difficult thing in the heat of battle. It's tough to sometimes you're just reacting and punches are going to land in unusual places. That's just part of it. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It really would depend on a lot of factors depending on as far as what I would do in that situation.
Okay, we got the next one from New Orleans. Is NO says, how do you feel about Fury letting his old trainer go and working with new trainers before the biggest fight of his life? And also, how do you feel about, I hope you heard this one, Jay. On Sky Sports, AJ says he was willing to help Tyson Fury in sparring and training camp to prepare him for the Wilder fight.
Well, I think, again, you're talking about somebody that's name is not out there and they're trying to get their name out there and somehow inject themselves into the biggest heavyweight fight in decades. And that's what that is. That's, I don't put any, value in that. I don't think that's happened or anything or will happen. And so we'll see what happens. I don't put any thought into that. What was the first part? I'm sorry.
How do you feel about Tyson Fury getting rid of Ben Davison, hiring Andy Lee and Javon Hill, a.k.a. Stewart?
Well, I think I like Ben, and I think I don't think Ben got enough credit because you got to understand when he started working with Fury, there was nothing there. There was basically a 400-pound guy with a lot of addictions and a lot of demons and a lot of mental issues. And he day in and day out, night in and night out, middle of the night, middle of the morning. I mean, he was there. He was caretaker, friend, advisor, trainer, confidant, family. I mean, he was everything to Fury. So I'm hopeful that they still have a great relationship. I personally like Ben a lot. I think he's a fantastic trainer, and he's a true student of the game, and he's got a bright future because he's such a young guy to be as good as he is. It's a little bit scary how good he is to be so young. But that being said, it's Fury has a history of switching things up, and I think maybe that's just kind of what he does is brings in new blood here and there, and I don't know how it's going to work. They Fury and Sugar have some past together, so that I think is probably beneficial that they're not starting from day one, but they're not starting brand new with each other is what I mean. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens with that relationship, but I do think that that Fury and Ben were very, very good for each other, and I hated to see that end.
Jay, I got one more question for you about AJ. This will be the last AJ question. AJ came out and told Sky Sports that if Wilder wins, he's going to try to throw a curveball into the negotiations and try to pull Wilder away from, I guess, the rematch that he has with Fury. Do you guys have any interest in possibly, doing Undisputed and not doing that Fury rematch if Fury tries to invoke his rematch clause?
Well, all that is down the road stuff. The only thing I'm thinking about, I would be remiss as a trainer if I thought about anything other than Tyson Fury, and that's the only thing I'm thinking about right now is this fight.
What about
this
as
guy,
a manager?
Because look, this is the main guy in our lives right now is Tyson Fury, and he's fantastic. I mean, he this is not a guy you can look, past or around or anything. He's very, very good, and I've done the film work on him, and I know how good he is. As a manager, I go into, once I get in camp, I just go in trainer mode, so I don't think about that. I'll be glad to answer that question right after the fight, though.
All right, here's another tough one for you, Jay. Coming from the UK, Carlito says, if Wilder loses to Fury and wanted a change of trainer, would you understand?
I don't ever think about losing. That's just, I only talk winning. I have not ever thought about losing in my life, and I'm just, it's just not who I am. And if one of my guys loses, I deal with it. But I never think about those kind of things. It's just not something I spend any time on.
Next one we got from Dual Ingram that says Deontay has stated numerous times that, in his opinion, he was not able to execute during the first fight, even though the punches were right in front of his face. How can you, as a trainer, modify what you tried to do last time so he's more successful?
Hang on one second, man.
Where's that going to be?
Las Vegas. Yeah, at the MGM Grand.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry, what was the last part of that message?
He says, how can you, as a trainer, modify what you tried to do the last time so he's more successful?
Well, I think the experience of the first time is in basically in and of itself the thing that is going to help us this time. We've been through that. It's until you've been through it, it's difficult to explain to people. But imagine instead of 100 people wanting to talk to you, it's 1,000. Imagine instead of 2 hours of interviews, it's 22 hours of interviews, that kind of thing. So once you've been through it, it's something you can deal with better. And I think it wasn't so much how many people were tugging at Deontay. I think it was because we were able to squash a lot of that. But I think he just internally, he was wanting to succeed and put on such a performance and show the world what he could do so bad that he was pressing and trying to force something to happen. That and if it's not there, you should do what he did with Ortiz, which is keep positioning yourself, keep chipping away at the ice, and soon the ice will break little by little. You don't have to, every swing doesn't have to be a home run, and so that all I think will play into the rematch.
All right, thank you for that. Next one is from Aaron. He says, Jay, do you film study past fights of Wilder or any great fights?
Oh yeah. I'm kind of a film geek, and that's one of the things that I enjoy doing is film work. So I'm always scouting. I scout us. What would I do if I was the other guy? What would I scout the other guy? I scout. I look at a lot of guys, Tommy Hearns, Larry Holmes, guys, that I think can, what they did can help us. So yeah, I look at a lot of that. Probably more than just about anybody else.
All right. Caesar in Vegas says, Mr. Dees, thank you for coming on the show and answering the fans' questions. I would like to ask, which one of the upcoming prospect contenders do you believe will make the most noise in the next 2 to 3 years? So I don't think he's talking about anyone in your stable. I think he's just saying up-and-coming contenders or prospects that you notice.
Well, I mean, there's just in the heavyweight division, we bring guys into camp, and you can see that a lot of these guys have big time futures. If all the right things, they do all the right things. And so just right there in our camp, you've got Stephen Shaw and Junior Fa and Robert Alfonso, and these guys, given the right break, the right opportunities, these guys can do a lot in the sport. That's why Deontay's always helping them and working with them and pointing things out. He mentors them, and a lot of people don't do that because they see these guys as future opponents, or somehow, they don't want to give them a lot of information or advantages. But Deontay's not like that. He really helps these guys out.
All right. We got Franks says, "Hi, Mr. Dees. Thank you for coming on TBV and answering our questions. Is it possible for Deontay to fight Fury and Joshua in 2020?
See, I mean, it's we're fighting. Deontay wants to fight often, and we want to fight often. That's the reason. I don't know that I've ever heard of a guy fighting in late November and then coming back in February, but especially a heavyweight. But we're happy to do it. So I don't know who, but if we could get 3 in 2020, if we could get 3 fights in, that would be wonderful.
Stainless in Detroit, do you think Fury could be the first body on Wilder's record? And are you coming to the TBB Appreciation Night?
I don't know. I tend to not go to a lot of events. Deontay's the star. I'm not a trainer that needs the spotlight or has to be out front. You see me when we're walking to the ring, there's usually a problem because I'm in the back. That's where I want to be. So I'm much happier just in the middle of nowhere doing my own thing. So I don't go to too much stuff. As far as the other thing, no. I always want fighters to come out safe and happy with their performance, win, lose, or draw. I want them to be able to go back to their families, make good money. It's such a tough sport. These guys don't get the credit. You get people calling them names and denigrating them. And these are typically people who have never been in a ring, can't hold their hands up, have never been tested physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, but they want to talk. So I always respect fighters in terms of, I want these guys. They're usually, I'd say 98% of them, are really, really great people and cool people. And we're in this crazy business together. And I always wanted to come out safe.
All right. We got Mr. Sims that says, will Wilder be fighting in another country in 2020?
I don't know. We're always open to proposals and to see if it makes financial sense to go somewhere else. Deontay is a world champion. So we have fought, Mexico, Puerto Rico, England, in the amateurs, of course, China, Argentina, Russia. We were going to fight in Russia as a pro. Of course, we know that didn't happen. And why? So it's, Deontay never has had any problem traveling anywhere. Just a matter of it making sense.
All right. Few more here. We got Steve in Chicago that says, when Wilder beats Fury, would you like him to fight? No, he says, who would you like him to fight personally? I would like him to fight Dillian White.
That's a good question. I mean, I take them one at a time. So I don't know. I don't know exactly. There's nobody on my radar. And I say really want to fight this guy. But once the fight's made, I always think that. I'm always like, that's the one I wanted. So we'll just have to see. I don't have anybody on my radar. I think it's important that we keep requiring these guys to be clean. Because if you look at the top 15, there's probably 6 or 7 guys that have tested positive for PEDs at some point in their career. So how you can test positive and fight 6 months later? I mean, what's the thing that keeps you from doing it? I mean, if you can rob a bank and they give you 3 days in jail, there's no deterrent. I mean, you would go try to rob a bank every chance you get because the punishment is nothing compared to the reward. So that's what's happening in boxing. You got guys knowing they can use substances, and they're not going to be punished very much for it. So why would they stop? And look at the top 10 or 15, and you tell me how many guys have tested positive. I bet it's several.
For sure. Well, thank you for that. We have just 2 more to go. Messiah says, good morning, TBV and Mr. D's. After you guys shut down Fury, will you guys send Joshua an offer?
All I'm worried about is Fury. There's no other name for me to talk about. We've done everything we can do to make the biggest fight possible. And you know what I'm talking about. And so it's never been us. We have proven that Deontay wants to fight the biggest and best. And that has not always been a two-way street. So for me, we take it one at a time. We got a huge fight with Fury. It's a big enough fight and biggest fight in the world. And that's the only one that's worth talking about. No sense looking forward when you're going to miss what's right there in front of you. Why would you go into Christmas Day talking about New Year's Day? Let's talk about Christmas Day.
All right. Last one from Big Nick in the UK. It says, you should be congratulated and called the magician as you've done a magical job with Wilder so far. I believe Wilder is the best fighter on the planet. If AJ drops the WBO, will Wilder try and make a unification fight with the winner of whoever the WBO mandates to fight for the belt?
Well, I would thank him for the kind words. It's very much a partnership. We work together, and I always am quick to give Deontay the credit because he's the one in the ring. He's the one making the adjustments. I can see him. I can tell him things to do, but he's the guy that has to do it. So he has a much, much tougher job when it comes to executing and all that. As far as the rest of it goes, again, there's nothing on our mind but Fury, and nothing should be on our mind but Fury because he is fantastic, and he's such a good boxer, and it's such a big fight. There's no need to look past it. This is Christmas Day, all right there in front of you. Enjoy it. Don't look forward. Don't look past it. Let's enjoy what we got coming right up.
Well, Jay, that was definitely the last one, and I just want to thank you for answering them all, even though some may have been repetitive or, you had to have a certain stance till you get the outcome of this fight. We do at least appreciate that you entertain, our loyal listeners who have sent you a question. So once again, have a blessed day, and hope to see you soon.
All right. Thank you, guys. You guys have a good one.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. JD's trainer of Deontay Wilder. Definitely a good interview. Shout out to all the patrons that dropped a good question. We're going to go to the callers and, get this thing over with. Now, remember, we had a lot going on, obviously. We did an interview, and we were talking Canelo and his options. And I don't think we got word from our next guest, which is okay.
Yeah, great interview from J. Diaz, man. It seems like they got the tunnel vision going. Anytime man, we focus on Fury right now. We're not looking down that road, you know what I'm saying? Manager hat goes off, trainer hat goes on. So hopefully everything goes right in camp, and they put on a incredible performance on February 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've been telling you guys, there's a press conference January 25th. You know what I'm saying? This weekend. Also, Jay just said that they will be possibly doing some Super Bowl promotion too. So a lot of things going on with this fight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, let's get to the sponsors and get on out to the callers. Final thoughts on the Canelo. Look, the way that I was excited for Joshua Ruiz because it was a different country and it was outside the box, I'll be excited for this. I can't say that I would be excited if Murata fought someone else, right? Canelo is the appeal. So it would be interesting to see how the production goes with the zone and the promotion with Golden Boy, how big of an event this can be, right? Other than that, tremendously pleased with the interview and all the candid answers given by JDs. And once again, thank you to all the Patreons that continue to support TBV. Yeah, man, we working.
Yeah, man. With the Murata and Canelo fight, I mean, like, I just want to see how it plays out, man. I was just taken off guard, so a lot of my emotions, you know what I'm saying, maybe not be that positive, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, it's a fight, and Canelo does what Canelo wants to do.
Yes, sir. Where are we? We're here.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
All right. Let's go to... Where's the masterminds? No masterminds. Where's the boomerangs? We got a bunch of them. What up, Troy in Baltimore?
Good morning, Troy.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning. Good interview, but after listening to it, I can honestly say that this fight with Joshua and Wilder will never, ever happen. I just listened to the man speak there. Him and Deontay are basically tied at the hip, and they have all this faith in Deontay, but when it comes to fighting Joshua, there's always a reason. There's always an excuse to not fighting, but never a reason to fight him. This fight will never happen, because if you're that confident in yourself, why is it when it comes down to one man, there's always a reason why you can't fight him, whether it be the money, 50-50, I want to catch a body, but we put our lives on the line, et cetera. Everybody knows it already. I mean, I'm not saying he's afraid of him. I'm simply saying that he's been on here before. Wilder, he made comments about our feelings are hurt or something to that extent.
Cut it. Mr. PBC, baby.
Boxingwords.com.
Yeah.
I'm the finest. Talking about he believe he can win. Go to my kitchen. Get the sharpest knife and cut the bullshit up. I don't care what you do good. I do every fucking thing great. Mr. PBC, baby.
Yeah, hello?
Hello.
Up, Don?
Yo, what's good? Shout out to TBV getting the trainer on. Shout out to, the haters in the Patreon, bringing the hate questions, spice it up a little bit. But I like everything that happened with the trainer, asking all the questions, kept it real, 100%. And keep that same energy, man. We don't think about loss. We think about win. Nobody's out here speaking and believing and receiving for losing, And shout out to Deontay Wilder. He's going to get that win. We're worried about Tyson Fury, not Anthony Joshua. That's my call.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. We're going out to more boomerangs.
You know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect.
kid has no class, no style at all. I'm a gorilla, I'm a dog. I'm a dog, I'm a gorilla.
The smartest thing you can do is to stay away from terrorists.
It can't be the boogeyman if I'm chasing him. You want to bet?
You bet 100,000 on that.
Let's bet $1 million.
Easy. Let's bet $1 million.
Hey, good morning. Yo.
Good morning.
Y'all get me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, great interview. What's the name of this show? What's the title?
Canelo Murata happening in Japan, and Jermall Charlo turned down that money from Oscar De La Hoya. Let Oscar tell it.
I don't even know who Canelo Alvarez is, so he's not worth mentioning. There was a good interview by JD. Once again, I always keep it solid from the water corner. Like I say, I like his questions. I like his answers. I think they're real confident in what they got going on for us going to this Fury fight. I like the energy. I like everything coming from the camp. I'm going to spend the rest of my time on Troy. I've been wanting to address him a few calls back, and I heard him on the show, so it kind of enlightened that flame. I really want to get his ass on that back show because I found it hella disrespectful for him to have a fucking opinion about somebody else's business and state his opinion like that shit was just factual. So come his old ass out, his fat ass.
Cut it.
Man, Troy been ducking y'all for a minute, Jay. CYP been trying to get him back there. Y'all go, but I don't think it's Doug. Y'all got to teach him how to do Skype, man. You got to remember Troy like 58. CYP, talk to me, Boomerang.
Yo. First, I'm going to say, good interview. You know what I'm saying? All your interviews are good, so it ain't just because it was my man. Good interview. And y'all know damn well, the right-hand man to the right-hand man is a quotable. Y'all know that. But anyway, Troy, I'm a jump on Jay, my man. If you need help learning how to do it, you need your pacemaker turned down or turned up, or your life alert turned down so we can teach you how to do this Skype, because you can't have all three on at the same time. We'll teach you, my man. Come on down here. Your opinions are trash, but you state them with such confidence. We would just like to hear him in person. And anybody in the chat, the other Brandon, any of y'all cats in the chat, y'all really want to make y'all voice of the people heard, come to the back show. That's what we do. We allow you to speak your voice. Don't be scared. That's going to be my first call because I got some other shit to say about Canelo. So I'm going to let that go. CYP out.
CYP? Let's see what we got next. We got Rod in the 870 with a super chat says, Troy, get your ass on the after show.
I'm trying to hurt Troy.
Yeah, Troy, you better be careful. Killer, Ringer.
Yo, what's up, guys?
What up, Killer?
What up?
Thanks for all the content, guys. It's really helping me get through my work week, you know. I got my last shift tonight, so I'm just glad that I heard all those good interviews and stuff. So thank you. I appreciate y'all, you know. Crickets? No. No, thank you.
Thank you,
okay,
thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
We ain't want to interrupt the call.
Yeah, I ain't want to interrupt you since it's
it's kind of difficult to speak with the sarcastic Swedish man. You never know when you're supposed to jump in. It's all right. I understand.
Yeah, that's another thing. Sometimes we waiting for the backhanded compliment.
Yes. Well, about the Ryota Murata fight with Canelo, I mean, listen, it's not the fight I wanted to see, but you know, I mean, of course, he's not the great Luke Keeler, you know. So he's someone, but he's not the amazing Luke Keeler. So I hear.
Yo, that man can't go a call without sarcasm. I love it though. He killed all the Canelo haters right there, because you know most Canelo haters either Andre fans or Charlo fans. So he's like, well, look, he's not the great Luke Killer, because no one, okay, has killed Andre for fighting Luke Keeler, and that ain't no mandatory. And I don't remember that shit being called as mandatory. Like, we
Hey,
gave
man, Luke
Bud
coming off that
Crawford,
big win, man.
bruh, get the off of who? Over Louis the Cougars?
Louis Aries, man, put Paul in that boy.
Bruh. We gave Crawford hella shit for fighting Cat Velasquez early. We like, damn, let him call it. How we don't even care that this dude ain't even a mandatory. So, but you know, I know what it is, man. Is when you not popular, you don't get that type of hate. You get that love. You know, until you get popular, then you get that love and that hate. That's all. That's just the way it goes, man. It's the way it goes. We got Steve in Chicago on the ringer.
What up, Steve?
Yeah, hey, good morning. Yeah, I was going to talk about my boy Cinnamon, but I'm going to leave that for another day. That interview made my day because I was telling the guys yesterday in the after show, AJ is irrelevant, and the trainer said it. Look, I don't judge a fighter by a loss, but it was the way AJ lost and then the way he revenged his loss. To me, as far as I'm concerned, and I know the narrative has been on this show to push that fight, I don't give a fuck about AJ. And he could take those 3 belts and shove them up his fucking ass. He's irrelevant. He's irrelevant, man. I'm going to watch Wilder no matter who the fuck Wilder fights. I don't need Wilder to fight AJ. I don't, Ness. I'm over it. I don't need to watch it. AJ is done to me. I don't give a fuck about his titles, his money. Fuck him. I'm out.
I don't think he's irrelevant now, Steve. I think we're going to be jumping off the bridge a little bit too far. I mean, the guy does have 4 of the 5 major belts, you know what I'm saying? So he's going to be relevant as long as he has those belts.
But that's what he's saying. I don't care about his belts. You know what I mean?
I know. I totally understand that.
But I don't like that. And Steve, don't take this personal because this is also to Jay. And Jay, also don't take it personal. I don't understand that delusion. To say that Wilder has a better resume than anybody, to say that those belts don't matter, bro, we can't say that. We can't say. You could say Wilder's taking the most dangerous resume, all right, in the last few years. But you can't just say he got the most, he got the best resume. AJ really's done some stuff, man. The names that he's beat are good, just like the names that Wilder beat are good. You it's like I said, when you start seeing repeat offenders, and by that I mean someone on someone's resume, you know what I mean? You know that you fighting level opposition. If you all got liked opponents, common opponents, it means something, man. And the heavyweight division all have, common opponents. And that's why they send in Andy Ruiz an offer.
Absolutely agree with you, man. Absolutely agree. Like, you can't just like gloss over what AJ done. You know what I'm saying? And have blinders on. We all love Wilder. You know what I'm saying? We all think he's the best, but AJ done some things too. You know what I'm saying? AJ done got his beak wet too. You feel me?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. What is this? This is a new number that I've never seen before.
Like a UK number or something?
I
Like
don't
a
even
US number?
got a column for it on my spreadsheet. It's 251. Where you calling in from?
Mobile, Alabama.
Oh, okay. I thought only 205 was Alabama. See, I learned something every day. What's going on? What part of Alabama you calling from?
Mobile.
Oh, Mobile. Oh, I didn't hear that. Okay. I thought he said good old Alabama. All right, what's your name, champ?
WAP.
WAP? Like Fetty Wap, the rapper?
Nah, we don't rock like that. Just WAP.
What up, WAP, man? Talk to us, big dog.
What up, man? Yeah, I just want to chime in. Like, AJ, I just don't even know where to even start with, dude. Y'all ready?
Ready, big
Yeah,
dog.
your bell rocked
Hello?
already. You ready to go. You ticking.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to call and chime in on AJ because, bro, the delusion that his fans have is like ridiculous. The man sits up there and contradicts himself every day. The same thing with Fury. The same thing with Dillian White. If you feel you're so bad, step in the ring with the man. There's no way.
I'm just discombobulated. I'm so tired of just going back and forth with these British clowns, man.
Well, I think 2020 is going to bring us a lot of closure, man.
I hope so too, because I'm just tired of all the game plan. I can't wait till every last one of them get knocked out, and then Wilder is the king of the division, and everybody can just go on back to their troll cave and relax.
All right. Well, Wop, thanks for calling in. Alabama, stand up. Good to have another Alabamian call in. I don't even know if I could say that, but I did it. I did it, Mike. I said it. You heard me.
Alabamian, yeah.
Okay. You never
It's a
know,
term.
man. You never know. And start fucking up words and shit. Get people mad at you. We going out to Pat and B Town. Talk to me.
What up, Pat?
Guys, I hope you guys are having a good morning. I was in and out of the JD's interview, but I'm gonna go back and listen for sure. He's a really cool dude, and it's great to see the tandem of both a black and white working together. To be the best heavyweight in the world. Everybody tries to make this boxing stuff about race, but that's just a testament to that we can all work together. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
All
Don't
right.
forget, man, we had Steven Espinoza on last night, so if you haven't heard that interview, you can go back and check it out. It was the Angel Garcia live interview. We had him and Angel on, as a matter of fact.
That's
and tonight
right.
at 7 o'clock is the flagship. We have more guests on
Yep,
tonight,
we
I
got
believe,
Michael
too, right?
Polite, Coffee, sparring partner Deontay Wilder, up and coming heavyweight, huge, 268 pounds, solid. Not 268 pound Dillian White. We talking about 268 pound, looking like Oscar Rivas. You know what I mean? Not short like Oscar Rivas. We talking about 6'5", 6'6", bringing the house down. You can see him bringing the house down in Wilder's house. On YouTube, just check out Michael Polite Coffee. I'm pretty sure it's called Bringing the House Down because he was really about to fuck up that gym doing them uppercuts. But big dude, undefeated prospect on the way up. Just re-signed to King's Promotion to do a lot of business with PBC, and this will be his first televised fight. He was getting him on the Facebook Fight Night Live that has, I believe, something like 500 million views. But this is said to be on, what card is this? The Ugas card?
In Biloxi, yes.
Yes. So he should make TV or at least the streams, and I hope for his sake and our sake we do get him on the streams because, he needs that big-time promotion. I was really hoping that because he's the guy that beat Nkosi Solomon and he's been able to stay undefeated and get all these knockouts, and then he was able to be a free agent, that Eddie was going to send an offer, or at least PBC, and that didn't happen. Or should I say, he says King's Promotion offered him the best offer. So, I don't know that the other guys did or didn't. He just was happy with what they re-offered him. That being said, we got more callers to get to. Who's up? Looking like taking it from the top. Black John's always listening. Computer programmer, talk to me.
What up, CP?
Yeah, good morning. Hey, you guys want to, I think somebody said hey before me. You guys want to check that?
Nah, man.
Nobody said hey.
Oh, my bad. Hey, good morning, fellas. Yeah, I'm just, I caught that interview. Great interview, great insights. That's big news on Canelo heading over to Japan. I'm kind of excited to see that, man. I can see Murata just, being his aggressive self, coming forward, and, Canelo just waiting for him, catching him. It's going to be a great fight, in my opinion. But yeah, man, just wanted to call in, say what's good. Haven't been able to call in. I got to check out that interview from yesterday. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, man, thanks for the time, and you guys have a great day.
All right, brother. FYI to anyone listening that, I know, look, life gets in the way and you can't listen. You got things to do. But ever since before the new year, it's pretty much been an interview a day. So, you probably got a lot to go back and listen to. And we don't put it in the notes or the descriptions or anything like that, simply because I'm lazy. But I do speak about it on every episode, I'm keeping you up to date, especially now that I'm using my calendar. But yeah, just know that. Just know that in every episode there will be a gem. So it's up to you to go find it. Look at it like Christmas, man. Every day's Christmas. You can have a magical interview there. And look, like I said early this morning, bro, Crawford answered us back. Can you fucking believe it? So you never know. And now, because you don't know, that means you got to listen to every fucking episode because Crawford is gonna be on. Can you fucking believe it? Wow. I'm gonna have to duck. I'm gonna have to be like, act like I'm sick. Like, yo, Mike, you gotta take over. GT Kid, talk to me in Atlanta. What it do?
What up, GT?
GT Kid. Just listening, GT
Oh,
Kid.
no. Hey, come back to me.
Oh man, them days of coming back to people are so over. I'm just saying, I'm in training camp, man. I got to get to the gym, then I got to come back. I'm doing 2 shows a day. There's a lot happening in the back end, B. GT. No, I said that wrong. JT and NO. Oh, matter of fact, I said that wrong too. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get it together though. That got me a little discombobulated there, but we'll get it right.
So interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, with that comment. Come on. That was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit. We're doing live TV. Man, I don't care. What you gonna do about it?
I'll kill this mother.
Why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem? Turn off your station. I'm the best ever.
Yeah, what's up? Good morning. I
Good
gotta
morning.
go listen to the interview. I ain't hear it, but man, I'm just tired of this Canelo guy. I mean, everybody won't give Andrade discredit him from fighting a Luke Keat or whoever the fuck he is. But who the fuck is Ryota Murata? I don't even know how to say this dude's name. And they giving Canelo credit for that fight? Get the fuck out of here, man. For as AJ, well, I'm reading this article. De La Hoya Charlo handles turned down very ludicrous offer for Canelo fight. I don't believe that shit. That's just to cover up to make an excuse to take this fight. This garbage ass fight in Japan. That's my call, man.
All right.
Super chat coming in from Mad Bent 100. Leave Troy alone. Ha 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 ha. CYP laugh. And Rod 870 says, Troy, I have $50 for you to debate CYP and J-Mac 1 hour.
All right. We got Stunner, New Jersey.
Yo, what up, TBV?
What up?
What up? All right, first and foremost, let me just address Canelo real quick. So, if he does fight Ryota Murata, cool, go ahead and do that. But the week of that fight, now, I distinctly remember y'all, that whole week of Wilder Ortiz 2, kept asking every caller for no reason, hey, does it feel like fight week to you? So, I expect that question to be floating around when it's Canelo Murata fight week. Second of all, look, this is the truth right here. Everybody needs to really think about this statement here. At the very moment, fans, for the majority, would rather see Deontay Wilder versus Dylan White than Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't think a lot of people believe that White is better than Joshua, but they find him to be more believable than Joshua. So when White comes out and says, remember, I don't like White. When White comes out and says, I'm going to try to bash up Wilder, none of us really truly think he's going to be able to. But as far
Cut it.
I definitely think Dylan White can beat AJ.
He was talking about Wilder though.
Yeah, you're right.
Steve in the UK.
Afternoon, fellas, or morning, rather.
How are you?
Good, man. Yourself?
Good.
Just a quick one. Really enjoyed the call this morning, interviews. I had a question about last night's show, though, man. I was just getting into really good questions with Angel or Angel, or however you pronounce it, after asking Rod's question.
Yeah,
it just cut
man.
out.
I know. Listen, it was a YouTube thing, but I think it was a YouTube thing. That's the second time that it happened. I sent the crash log to them, so hopefully I get an answer back.
Yeah, because it happened on the Board Wars one as well. I was listening
Yeah,
to
that was the
guy
second
that-
one. That's the second one. It happened Saturday and then again. So I sent, like I said, I sent the crash logs. I'm hoping to hear back from somebody in tech support. But yeah, it's definitely out of my control. Believe me, the YouTube went down and it's just me, Skype, and Blog Talk. And I'm like, fuck, I'm not gonna keep this interview going. Yeah, you guys can hear it that we're on the line, but it's like, the world needs to hear that shit. And
Absolutely, 'cause
and
it was
not only
fire
that,
as
when it cuts out, bro, when something technical, it kind of ruins my whole. You know what I mean? I'm in interview mode trying to uncut. Listen, and believe me, that Steven Espinoza, they are, look, I don't know, pow pow, right? But listen, Steve, it is your time. Thank you for calling in. We're going out to Tank. Talk to me, Commander Zulu.
Salute TBV. Good interview, Ness. Mike.
Thank you,
y'all
brother.
on the job. Y'all grinding, man. I really appreciate y'all work. Hey, let me say this about the JD's interview, which was a good interview. I believe JD's and Deontay Wilder are perfectly synced. The way he answered your questions concerning Anthony Joshua was exactly how he should have answered them, I believe. Not giving him any kind of shine. Because it just seems like Anthony Joshua is clout chasing with the Fury thing and talking about come help me spar to get ready for the fight, just to keep his name in things. Yes! And you had a guy just called in was saying that about the Dillian White probably being a better fight than Anthony Joshua for Wilder. And without the belts, if Joshua didn't have the belts, I would have to agree with him. It would be a more interesting fight. Excuse me, a more interesting fight than it would be with Anthony Joshua. It seems like that.
Cut it. Damn, bro. Table's turning on Joshua quickly. Trey, talk to us. Morning. Just listening. Going once.
Hey, good morning. Yeah. I told y'all that Canelo was finna fight Fujimoto in Japan at heavyweight. Y'all didn't believe me. Y'all laughed at me last night.
No, we were laughing because you said Fujimoto.
Yeah, man. You said Fujimoto, but I get it now. I'm late.
Yeah. And shit, man, we ain't gonna act like God don't need to knock out Joshua. That's all I'm saying. Y'all better stop talking like AJ ain't worth knocking out. Get out of here with that bullshit.
Exactly. I don't know why people acting like forget AJ. No.
Nah.
And there's some new news out there. We got a secondary show. Oh damn, today's Thursday, so we got a show regardless. That's gonna be the definitely main topic. Yeah. Who fighting this week?
Hey, Danny.
Oh, Danny. Yeah.
Danny Garcia.
That's definitely gonna be the main topic then.
I'm going for all the Fujimotos in the world. I got red catch.
I hear you.
All right, y'all.
Daniel Dibor, I am going to knock you out.
Yes, sir. Fujimoto is popular out here. I want to see a PBC guy get a crack at Fuji. That's what they got to start. You bring Richard Lottie back. Bring them dudes back. Listen, Frank got his man at number 3.
Man, Frank worked that man up to number 3 off these guys.
Off two Ghanaians and 1 Fujimoto, man. He killed them. Dami, talk to me.
Daniel.
Oh, wrong button.
You call that man Dummy?
That's his name, Dami.
I thought you said Dummy.
No, Donnie.
Bad Dummy.
Yeah, man, big up TBV.
Big up
Netflix. Don't know. Yeah, man. Family. Come on. I know we all just heard that interview. Big interview, by the way, but still. What's my number? Like, the geezer just said, like, there's nobody on the radar after Fury. Like, so wait there. You don't care about Undisputed all of a sudden. And this is what I'm saying.
Nah, they focused on Fury, bro. They got to beat Fury first. He said he can't think about nothing until he get past Fury. That's focus talk.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But as a manager, yeah, you're supposed to have stuff like in the works and lining up. And all I'm saying is, people have been calling AJ a duck for how long, innit? And now, yeah, this guy has been asked about 5 different times. Yeah, what are you saying about this Undisputed? Nothing but duckery, duck. You get me, fam? It's like, it's ridiculous. The geezer even said, yeah, that Wilder has a better resume than anybody in the heavy. Fam, is he crazy? Like, what kind of mad thing is this guy under? You get me?
Yo, can you send me that drop? I need that drop. What kind of mod I love that right there. Can I get that on a drop, man? Yeah, I need to play that as a sound, but that shit was tough. Listen, bruh, the problem is that the AJ fans are feeling it. The irrelevancy. You know, the walls are shrinking in. The AJ fans.
AJ.
Yeah.
AJ.
Yeah. Why are you looking like that?
What's his name again?
AJ.
What's the first name?
Anthony.
Johnson.
Joshua. Oh.
Joshua. Okay, got you.
Yo, how I walk into that dumbass shit right there. Yeah, bro. Like, that's what it is. He's becoming irrelevant because he's still the guy that lost to the fat guy. And then it's like Steve said, the way he got the belts back. That wasn't like a warrior. It's like he said, matter of fact. Like, I mean, we got the soundbite, and that's why he, you know, but hopefully, again, I like the same prayer that I include Crawford and I include AJ. So one day AJ will also answer my text, and, you know, he'll be on. But, you know, Absolutely. At the end of the day, you know, words are powerful.
Nah, boxed 12 rounds and ran. Don't respect that.
I mean, what's up with that, bro? Like, you did the same thing.
And did he impress you in that Klitschko fight, Fury? In his evasive skills, at least?
Nah, boxed 12 rounds and ran.
And I wasn't impressed with his Ruiz fight. Like, I'm not going to play the whole clip. I just wasn't impressed with that. I was looking for... If Wilder does the same thing, somehow jumps on the back foot and out jabs Fury, being like... Unless he does Fury better than Fury, I got to see it. What AJ did, we all said it. It looked tentative. He looked scared. You know.
What going to say? He already did it.
Who did it?
Wilder.
Already did what?
Bounced out the best foot.
Nah. What he did with it with Stavern, shit, that can't be compared to what he did, what AJ did with Ruiz. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, AJ had a different demeanor in his Ruiz fight. When Wilder fought Stavern, it wasn't no... You know what I mean? It was an authoritative jab. AJ was a more like, get off me jab. I'm out working you. Like, he was out here doing track. My man got skinny. Like, we know his whole objective was to move. We knew that. And his fans are in denial, and that's why they trying to interject themselves into this fight. Because it's like, damn, man, our dude went from the bodybuilder to the fucking Usain Bolt in the ring.
I didn't even know, nigga. That's crazy. They've been bringing up AJ name a lot this week, man. AJ and Dylan White, those guys ain't even fighting.
Yeah, but that's what it is, because they know that equation ain't right without the word Wilder. So it's like Wilder versus Dylan, Wilder versus AJ. That's what they want.
I swear, man.
But I do too. I'm in that boat. I want both them fights. Preferably, I still take Dillian first. Give me Dillian first.
About this more and more, man. Like, the UK fans are so used to, you know what I'm saying, the guys coming up short, and they see a guy that they feel like is not that talented and get away with things. Deep down, I think, honestly, they wish Wilder was British. They wish they had that right hand. Of course,
bro. If Wilder was over there, they would be praising. You know they would. All the dudes that just called in like Dami, that whole demographic would be Wilder's, you know, friends. Like, they would love him the way they love Dillian. Come on, man. You can't tell me they love Dillian and won't love Wilder if he was from over there with that accent. Come on, man.
He had that accent too. Oh,
what?
Man.
What? Yo, we need a British bomb squad. Could you imagine that shit in a British accent?
Oh, shit.
Let's go out to California, man. Looking like
Mr. Info Joe.
Tell them the truth, yo. Tell them the truth.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Info Joe.
presented by my brother.
Tell them the truth, yo. Tell them the truth.
Yo.
Joe, what it do?
Good morning, TBV. Man, God is good. Shout out to my daughter, Kalima. She got her first college acceptance letter. And everything is great, man. I'm happy, man.
Congrats, baby.
Her name is Kalima. Shout out to you, Kalima. She listening. Thanks, brother. Hey, great interview yesterday and today, man. TBV on fire. Yo, let me get this correct, man. So you said Canelo is going to fight, what's his name, Murata?
Fujimoto.
Same dude that fought Rob Brandt?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rob Brett.
I thought Rob Brandt had a rematch, man. Rematch clause, right?
No, it was the other way around.
Oh man, nah. I wanted Rob Brandt to get that work back, man. To even it out. Oh man, I don't like that fight, man. But great interviews, man. Shout out to the whole TBV family, man. Hey man, I appreciate the work, man. Y'all moving and y'all grooving for the 2020. Keep on. Peace.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Let's get to who is up next. All right, perfect. NO, talk to me.
What up, you heard me?
Ooh, how my audio sound, bro?
You good?
Alright, bro. We see Canelo back on his bullshit. You know what I'm saying? See, bro, we gotta get Golden Boy on the line. We gotta get somebody that represent Golden Boy to explain how Charlo turned down a Canelo fight. We gotta get confirmation on that, dog. 'Cause that's some bullshit. And for AJ, bro. Man, look, see, not Ness. When I made this statement, dog, a couple months ago, y'all shot me down when I was saying if AJ was from the UK, he would be big, if not bigger than AJ. Now today, I hear a whole nother story. You dig? Not in no telling the future now. You know what I'm saying? I made the same exact statement, dog. So what's different between now and then?
Ain't no difference in I really don't remember you saying that, but if you did, man, my apologies. I ain't mean to shut it down.
What'd he say?
You said that Wilder would be a bigger star than AJ if Wilder was British.
Oh, I mean,
Let's remember that. Let's remember that.
I don't
Me
remember.
and you for what? We was going back and forth for
I don't
a few
remember, but
minutes.
I won't say you didn't say it. You know what I mean? Like maybe you said it and we just like built off it today without remembering. But
Man, yeah, man. 'Cause you like, you know what I'm saying? We gotta give AJ credit here, star and all that. But I'm like, star, like if you gotta admit it's a bias to that shit, though, because like they fans a little different over there. They
yeah,
only got boxing and soccer.
nah, they fans. You can't abbreviate with they fans. They fans are fanatics.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, dog. So man, you know how many UK dudes be calling in hollering bomb squad? The Wilder from the UK.
Hell
Man, that
yeah,
shit is crazy.
yeah.
They already retarded. Not think about they had bomb squad to highlight.
Cut it,
And
cut it.
we at the end of the show, so I definitely gave you two. Going to Boomerang J Matt. I mean, let me do CYP to mix in one. Actually, he said he was only doing one, or you wanted it at all. Give me a flash there, CYP going once, going twice. There you go.
Let me go. First off, for anybody who thinks that Wilder's resume is not the shit, the man has fought, is about to fight 4 top 5 fights in his last 5 fights. Let me break that down. 4 top 5 fights in his last 5. Last time I checked, Ruiz wasn't top 5. Pulev ain't top 5. Usyk ain't top 5. Cut the bullshit. We're going to move on to this. Do y'all realize that Daniel Jacobs was the one who got the fight with Canelo in May? Daniel Jacobs was a champion when he fought Canelo. Charlo wasn't a champion when he so-called offered him. Are you telling me that Daniel Jacobs was going to sit by and allow Charlo to fight Canelo instead of him when that's the only reason he fucking at the zone? Stop the bullshit. Fucking Oscar be lying his ass off. And then all of a sudden the next month, Canelo drops the belt, becomes franchise, and just gives the belt to Charlo after he ducked his offer. Yeah, I'm going to reward you for ducking me, but I'm also going to fight Daniel Jacobs, who's actually more popular at the time, who actually has a belt at the time, who puts me close to the undisputed at the time. Let me tell you something. I'm consistent, and y'all know I'm consistent. All promoters lie.
Cut it, cut it.
Dominic Boomerang.
it's funny that's how you said the UK fans are starting to realize Anthony Joshua is becoming irrelevant. And I think that's 100%. Ever since he lost to a fat boy and then was scared of a fat boy throwing punches, he's became 100% irrelevant in my mind. I think Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder probably the biggest fight. This is going to be 2020's biggest fight. And Tyson Fury might be the gypsy that might get his brain smashed out. He might be the body on Deontay Wilder's record, 1,000%. And I can't wait for the prediction show.
Yeah, you know what?
I got a lot of shit to say.
I don't even think we should be saying that because that could fuck him up mentally, man. That Mike Perez wasn't never the same after he caused permanent damage to his opponent. But, that is your call. No, I hear you, man. You just speaking what he's speaking. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying what I'm saying. We going to Boomerang and Troy.
What up, Troy? Do you accept the challenge?
Yes, sir. Hello. Good morning again. Good morning. Look, I heard what I guess the caller after me said at CYP. Listen, I've said it once, twice, 1,000 times. Do not speak of me. Speak directly to me. That's why I put my number out there. And, to constantly attack my heart and my disability, that is what women do. Let me phrase that clearly. Bitches do that. You never attack a man's weakness.
Don't get the show flag.
Directly, okay? So I don't want to hear about my heart no more from none of you fuckers. I don't want to hear about it. It's getting to the point where it's annoying. I'm sorry I even brought this shit up. All right? Ain't nobody faking over here. I live with this every fucking day. I could drop dead right now on the phone. And I know you don't give a damn about that, but y'all have to realize the power
Don't
of the
do
world.
that.
I'm talking. Let me finish. Y'all realize the power of the world. Anything you put out there, whether it be positive or negative, it'll come back to you. That's why I stay quiet. It's just that I'm a different type of cat.
You don't stay quiet on the Wilder topic, though.
I don't stay quiet on a lot of topics, brother. I don't stay. But I'm saying, Lester, I'm gonna just say this: you need to go clean up that room or whatever, because it's not just about talking about people. They get violently insulting back there. And me, I'm cool with it. I'm not taking it personal.
Nah, man.
I'm just hearing this out.
Listen, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That's a men's only. That's a men's only club after the show.
Yeah.
That ain't got nothing to do. I mean, they call it after show for a reason because it's after this show.
Got no goddamn me quarrels with that.
Yeah, they doing their thing. That's a man cave, man. You can't hang out in the man cave. Don't get Nesta.
That's the barbershop, nigga.
He said, Nesta, you need to clean it up. I ain't got nothing.
That's the barbershop, homie. Shit, you can't go to the barbershop.
Why you sending the cop in the alley and shit? Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, Ness, man, you better go back there and handle them niggas, man.
No,
they doing too much.
No, sir.
To this day.
Sing along if you know the words. Come on.
2020 UK Troll of the Year goes to no other than Coyote.
Yeah. Oh, Mike, why you gonna do me like that? What, you don't like my questions now? Yeah?
I'm just playing with you, man. All questions are good questions.
Listen. At the end of the day, we know JDS is a liar. I mean, let me ask you, who do you think is telling the truth, JDS or Jonathan Banks? Quick one. What, you love mute? You're not going to say nothing?
We didn't want to interrupt your call because you only got a certain amount of time.
Man,
so.
honestly, I ain't heard the question, man. Repeat it again for me.
Nah.
90 seconds.
You there?
JDS.
Coyote, I can't hear you, brother.
You love playing. Listen, anyway, Wilder Fury, I wanted to say something quickly. I don't care who gets knocked out. As far as I'm concerned, both of them guys are liars and they just come up with BS all the time. So if one of them gets knocked out, that actually works. Either way, it's a win-win for me. I don't mind who gets knocked out because I know that one of them has
60 seconds
or white neck. And I know that they're going to get knocked out.
Yo, is Wilder becoming the biggest star in boxing? I remember you said that shit. I'm like, nigga, you crazy. Canelo. And obviously money, AJ and Canelo would be ahead. But, like, How is it that we talking about Canelo and everybody's calling in about Wilder? I mean, I get it. We had his trainer on the show,
JBS.
but again, that still shows his influence that it's overtaken the main topic. Like there's no time spent on Canelo and his thoughts. But we're going to Coop in Maryland. Talk to me. Coop, Maryland.
Yo. Good morning.
Morning.
TBV, man. Good morning. Love the show, bro. What up, Mike?
10 seconds.
What up, homie?
Yo, man, I just called to touch on the Canelo thing a little bit, man. I think he getting like a soft touch, man. Like for real. If this dude go over there fight the Chinese dude, man, I mean man, he gonna beat breaks off dude, man. And we supposed to give him a round of applause for doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? When this man, and you know what I'm about to say, man. And Charlo been chasing him. We shit on Andre for fighting some dude nobody know, but he can't get the fight. You know what I'm saying? But we quick to be like, oh, Canelo the God and all this shit. Well, not me, a couple of people, man, because I can't stand it. I just want to see all the best fights. You know what I mean? But he running around this motherfucker. Yeah, he get paid all the most bread and all that shit for what? For a fight he lost to Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really even paid no attention to that motherfucker until he fought Floyd. You know what I mean? And then give him all this big cheese, and then he ain't fighting nobody. I don't like that shit, man. And then if it was a black dude doing this same shit,
Cut it. I said that. Where the ace at? Where the ace at?
Stone. Too, man. It ain't Canelo's fault. It's the fans' fault. They support. They allow him to do these kind of things. Like, as long as his money ain't changing, his ways ain't changing.
He draws people to the sport. And because of that, people offer him astronomical amounts of money so they can get in on the Canelo business. We're going to Stonebone Boxing, Colorado.
What up, man? Good morning.
Morning.
What up, Stonebone?
You hear me?
Senior boy.
Okay,
yes, sir.
Cool. Yeah. What y'all say, man? You talked to Bud or he responded, man? What you say, man?
Yeah.
Yes, man. That's all this out here moving and finagling shit.
Nah, I ain't moving. I'm just like I was persistent. I just kept Mike too. We just been doing it for 2 years, and he finally answered.
Oh shit. We working. Hey man, to me, I don't really want the fight, but hey, it is what it is. Canelo fight. He doing what he doing. He doing what Floyd used to do, man. Maneuvering around, trying to figure out the biggest pay fights because the zone is backing him doing that because they already gave him all the money. So they figure, hey, go for the fights that can get us some return on that investment. And for Troy, I understand that you think you Ali Bashir. So come on out here, and we got one of Clarissa little brothers in there that could put hands on you. I hate when guys get to talking all this shit. But
come on. Luckily, that was in your time, but it was a double cut. It like, come on, don't bring up Clarissa's. She don't want that brought back up, man. That shit was a mistake amongst her team. The GOAT needs to continue to shine. I was gonna say something else too before that. Yeah, I'm lost, man. I'm lost with that one. He took me all over the place with that one right there.
Yeah,
right?
that fucked me up too. Like, damn, we gonna talk
especially
about
when he be the one trying to like make sure we uplift Clarissa. Like,
you
got sometimes, look, I know it's out there, it's public knowledge and all that, but sometimes, the unsaid is forgotten.
Exactly.
But right, so we got
people that are watching right now on YouTube that have not smashed that
what
thumbs
I
up
was
button.
gonna say, actually, bro.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I always look at these thumbs up, and it reminds me of that time I watched the awards when I was heavily into rap, and Snoop was like, "Yo, y'all ain't got no love for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg." And it's like, damn, y'all really ain't got no fucking love for us. Like, yo, CYP, he's a truth teller. He said that shit that one day. It's like, we gotta beg you to get 200 fucking thumbs up when it's like 600 people watching. We even going the extra mile and getting you elite level interviews. I swear, I wish there was a way to know who it is just to like block your ass, bruh. Like I don't need you here for real, honestly. Like if you're not trying to help the movement, like if you're not trying to push this show to be number one so that all the buds of the world answer, get the fuck out of here, honestly, bro. Honestly. It's fucking
Turn that goddamn
sickening.
live chat off on their ass.
Yeah, do what Joe Rogan do. See how happy you be with no fucking chat.
But it's all good.
That's
man.
why I said. That's why I always tell CYP I don't give them chat dudes no life because that it be them that's there every day but won't hit the thumbs up
on purpose.
Yeah, because they somehow they get some sort of pleasure out of that. You know what I mean?
But they listen
insane, bro.
for the whole 2-3 hours. But we got a super chat coming in from YY9302010. AJ out here cloud chasing. Hashtag question for 11. What the fuck that mean? Quest for 11. Quest for 11.
Quest for quest information because 411 could be 411. Like information, I don't know.
Man, why didn't you just put information, my nigga?
Maybe it ain't enough characters.
Man, hashtag bomb squad. Shit, you see how much damn me shit nigga J Mac just wrote? Hell, he got plenty of characters left. J Mac 504. Troy Graham, you big dog. Oh, whoa. Troy Graham, you type big boy shit but can't Skype it. Call in for that face to face so you can properly introduce to business hours, clown. Well, y'all, man, calm down, Troy, man.
Yeah,
damn.
Troy, somebody grandfather. Y'all.
I know, man, like somebody like grandpa.
He got a daughter. I think he said they fight. This like 24. Chill.
Yeah, Big Nick comes one.
You know how old people is anyway. We all gonna be on a rocking chair talking shit. Like
talking hellified shit.
Yeah.
Unification, anyone? J Diaz, then got a cactus emoji with a tornado, with a zip mouth, with a laughing emoji, and another laughing emoji.
But Big Nick is the funniest. Unless there's a fake Big Nick on you on Patreon, Big Nick used his Patreon question to tell J Diaz he loves Wilder. And something about a vacant WBO unification if AJ drops the belt. But Big Nick in front of his UK friends in the chat wants to say cactuses when asked about unifications.
Just like the UK guy you seen over in like Ireland. Oh, Wilder, you docile. Hey, man, can I get a picture? Can I get a picture?
Oh my God, I had that on camera. That's true. You're right. And then when I approached him, he's like, he just stuck his tongue out, started going crazy like it was a rock and roll. I'm like, yo, I'm out. This is a rock and roll video. I don't want to be in. See you later.
Clifford Fetus comes to one says, every time AJ got close to Ruiz, he got Ragnarok. We got one from J Mac coming from 504. Talk and type your shit, but you can't Skype. All right. Mr. CYP comes to one. I had zero clue he had a disability. Stop it. But you get no pass on your bull, my guy. I give out equality, verbal beatdowns. You included. And Mad Bet 100, last one. Deontay got more shine on the Canelo show because we know him, but speaks no English.
Yo, honestly, I want to thank Troy. I really do because I watch other live streams that are truly blessed. And all our super chats have been about Troy. So thank you, Troy, for at least making them a super chat. Yeah. You would figure it would be like, yo, good interview, guys. It's like, yo, Troy, get your ass in the back so we can beat on you.
And we got one coming from the Killer over in Sweden. Shout out to Luke Killer. He is one hell of a janitor.
Man, you guys are so mean, bro. Even after hearing J Diaz say how we clown and ridicule fighters, it doesn't even touch your heart. T Plums, Florida, talk to me, man.
I know it's been a little minute since I called in, but I just wanted to say about the whole
back to
Oscar.
UK yet?
Yeah, man, I'm on my way.
Already.
But I just wanted to say about the whole Canelo thing with the Charlo offer. When did Canelo get that franchise championship or whatever?
Maybe
was it after
like
Danny Jacobs?
After the May fight, maybe.
Okay, but anyways, I don't believe none of it. I hope nobody believes Oscar. But also, CYP, I'm coming to your city this weekend, so I'm trying to hit the gym. But dang, I forgot what else I was gonna say about the water thing, but it's all good. All right, y'all.
All right, T Plums. Thanks for calling in. That means we got. I guess CYP is a third one.
CYP.
Yo, I ain't get my second.
Yeah. Hold on. What we doing?
Go
Because
for it.
J Mac said he ain't got his second.
He gonna get the finish then.
All right, then
He
let me
took.
go. Let me go.
He took you. You
Troy.
usually last, but he
Yeah,
took that now.
I got him. I ain't tripping. Troy. Everybody know my best friend, my cousin, has just. Oh, I didn't tell y'all. He got his heart. He got his fucking heart. You know what I'm saying? So we very happy about that. Troy, if you think that I was really hitting your old age and coming up with jokes off your old age because I knew you had a real disability, my God, put two and two together. Everybody talk about how old you are, so you're gonna get old jokes. If you skinny, people gonna give you skinny jokes. If you fat, people gonna give you fat jokes. Don't take it personal, my man, because I never do no shit like that. But you do a lot of talking and you gotta back it up. Like my man, it don't matter if you're in a wheelchair, it don't matter if you can walk or not. Your mouth and your brain are functional. I give you full respect and credence to everything you say. So don't be scared about that. Off of that. Big Nick, you funny because you in the chat and you always trying to kiss the UK butt. But then when you come to the Skype, you 50-50. And then with Jay Diaz, you kiss butt and tell people how much you love Wilder, man. I hope the UK realizes that y'all are jokes. Even the dude who speaks for y'all, which is Big Nick, don't even really hate Wilder. Y'all really
Cut it.
Yeah, man. I picked up on that, Big Nick. He talking about he's my favorite fighter in the whole planet. Yo, J Mac, talk to us.
What up, J Mac?
Shout out to Troy. I didn't know he had a heart problem, but he came for me on another show, so I'm still coming for his ass, and I hope that he can get his conditions taken care of. But like CYP just said, that don't stop his mouth from being fucking ran. How you gonna sit up there and talk big boy shit, but then complain to the owner of the show talking about you gotta clean it up? What you telling on? Who you telling on? Nobody ain't gonna kick your ass. We just gonna beat you down in the fucking debate, shut that weak shit you be talking, and clean some of that bullshit up. You need to be held accountable. And Ness, you can't run from that Bud smoke. I heard you telling Mike, I'm gonna call in and say my voice. So no, if Bud get on here, talk your shit, be Ness, and be who you been. That's my call.
Nah, man, sometimes you got to take one for the team, man. I don't know if you wasn't young growing up and, sometimes you went out with your peoples and there was a fat chick and you got to take one for the team sometimes, you know what I mean? I wasn't personally ever the one that had to take one for the team with the fat chick because I'm an extremely handsome dude. But I can see you having to do that for your man. So this is the same situation. I'm doing that for y'all. Like, I'm taking one for the team for y'all, So I give Mike lead because he's the Bud guy. And it puts Bud in a comfortable setting. Believe me, man. Look, I'm learning. Now that I'm scheduling all these stupid interviews, not stupid. It's just the frustration of them, of getting them, right? Securing them. I learned that everything matters, and a lot of these people have certain things they do and don't want us to talk about. I'm just being honest with you, you can choose to believe that or not, but, I'd rather be in the Bud business than not be in the Bud business, if you can understand that. You know what I mean? So I'm coming into it walking on eggshells and, hoping for the best. And that's what I mean by that. Like, obviously, I'm not going to go mute, but if Mike needs to play lead, he plays lead. It is what it is. I think that's everybody. So catch us on the next one. Definitely good. Well, damn, it's Thursday, so there is definitely a next one. But I wanted to come right back with that other great news. But fuck it, that'll be the flagship show headline. Catch us on the next one. SGTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Peace.
Follow me on IG at Gross1911 or on Twitter at Gross2312. You can follow me on YouTube at Mike on Sports. Big ups to J Diaz for coming on. Canelo Murata in Japan. Charlo turned down a Canelo fight. But we'll talk about that later on tonight. Peace out.
Peace.